There we go. Alright, so this is the theory test that I've been working on for a while now, maybe like a couple months, but I took a couple months break, so probably only took like 2 weeks to make. But in comparison to a normal run, it does platforming a lot better than is usually possible in Metroid 2. Just because of how difficult it is to optimize movement in this game. So this room in particular was pretty difficult to optimize, getting the best height out of every jump. And that's going to be pretty much a continuing thing. Getting optimal height out of each damage boost and jump. Oh, and this is the no out of bounds category. So I won't be using the select glitch or start glitch. So different from most of the 2D Metroid titles, you can only have one missile out on screen at once. So getting 5 missiles in before the red door opens is pretty difficult. Ah, shoot. Oh well. Didn't have global hotkeys on. So when there's a couple times where I'll exit the room as a Metroid is dying to skip like a second of pause for the Metroid death. And that's frame perfect, and we usually wouldn't go for that in runs. Of course, I was also able to damage boost a little bit more liberally than you would in a normal run, just because I'm able to manage health better. Hey, Behemoth. You didn't miss too much, it's pretty normal from here, or from the beginning. There's a couple new strats in Phase 2 and 3, I think, for Metroid strats. It's only a little bit faster to morph across some of these platforms, so most of those we wouldn't normally do. Also, right now, I'm comparing to my Summer Best. I tried as best I could to keep spider balls through transitions. I think Behemoth was saying that it's like every other frame it'll just eat the spider ball, or spider throw. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I found this to be more difficult to optimize than when I did a Fusion Theory TAS, just because there's no great way to grab ledges in this game. Yeah, that makes it kind of dumb to optimize everything. Especially when you get to doing damage boosts like there. You have to jump at the perfect time. Yeah, exactly. Just get as close as you can without falling. Yeah, I really liked optimizing that fight. I was glad that I found that before doing the theory task. That went well, except for the wasted missile, but it doesn't really matter since we get the refill later. I pretty much only worry about ammo after the last refill. So that I can get the one bomb queen. Since having more ammo doesn't really save time. Getting that damage boost is really tight, just because of how small the hitbox is on the statue. Yeah, it's definitely faster, just because you're a lot higher up when you can to enter the ceiling. Also, beating the flame is really cool there. I've done it like once in a row. Thank you. Also, that spider throwing kind of changes how high you can spring ball. That makes spider throws kind of annoying to optimize as well. Hey, Nightshade. This is another thing that I found while making this, I think. A little spider ball, as you're falling, slows you... Dang, I missed a notice, but slows you down just enough to not bounce off of the bomb. I am not playing this is a recording, but I'm using BizHawk. I also didn't know that that was a buffered jump. I always thought that you had to manually input after transitions. But finding that out made that a lot easier. This is another new strat. It's good, but you have to be really fast on the morph after the gamma spawns in. Yeah. I've been kind of more getting used to doing the KOs. If we want to call them that. Hey, monkey. Hey, Ross. There's probably a faster way to do that, I just didn't feel like trying to find it. That's just really the most consistent. Possible to 5-5, okay. That's good to know. Probably not something that... Huh. So that's a really tight damage boost to make. You have to be like... You have to do like a max height on morph jump into a max height damage boost from like the top pixel of the enemy. So many happy people in chat. I probably could have used a missile there and saved a couple frames, just to avoid switching. I hate over the top. It took me so long to get into doing it because I would always have low health exiting the Metroid fights. So when I remembered, I'll spider throw over ledges when I can, just to get vertical momentum going downwards. Sub 55 might be possible. Excuse me, might be possible. This is also slightly different from standard. Getting over to the right side earlier. RTA, I don't know. Sub 56, probably... That's really hard to say. Optimizing this game is more difficult than the others. SM is super optimized, but you have better ways to optimize it, I would say. I brain farted there and somehow left in a swap between missile and beam. Lost a couple frames. Oh, this probably isn't faster, but it looks cool, so I decided to just do it. Easier to optimize than trying to space jump over there. This is also a new strat that I came up with. That's actually pretty consistent, minus the shoot as you leave the room. It'll get stuck in the ceiling, whether it goes to the right or to the left. Started shooting it before it beamed a second time. Or a third time, I guess. A lot of these fights I tried to, for the game of fights I tried to get the fewest rounds as possible. But I quickly realized how difficult that is. Ross, you can beat this game with just 30 missiles. No. Thank you for the host, Kitas. And hi, Pitoil. Fight was kind of bad, but I didn't feel like doing it again. Yeah, nothing seems to work really well. Just like going... Well, both that and that, if you try luring it up, you just end up losing time by going further up. At least that's what I found. A lot of these I didn't want to grind for the RNG to get like the perfect setup. That's like more RNG dependent. So I decided to go with the consistent fast setup. Double damage boost there to get enough height to skip Spider Ball. I usually do it with a damage boost to the left and then a damage boost to the right, but that's a little bit slower. I didn't actually intend on getting that damage boost, but it worked out really well. Close enough. Is there really? I didn't know that. I was trying to get him to come up sooner, but I couldn't find any way. Oh, I see. Yeah, I also tried getting him stuck in the, like, right up next to the transition, but it ended up being a little bit slower. And it costs, like, a bit more damage since you have to take a couple intentional hits. This is kind of consistent to get it stuck in that ceiling. I know you can get it stuck in the wall, but I couldn't get that to happen. Yeah, I tried several setups. I don't think I tried that earlier. I may have and gave up on it. But I seem to be getting it somewhat consistently. So I decided to leave it in. I really don't like that gamma. I brain farted there. Forgot that you can just do that in one spider throw. Hi John, I am showing off a theory task that I made for M2 Hundo. No out of bounds. Yeah, I either forgot or didn't know that you could skip damage boosting off of the whatever that enemy is, the rhino guy. Those spider throws were pretty fun. Although it's pretty difficult to do the very first one. So you'll most likely get hit. This one is pretty good. You can do it in fewer rounds, I think. But that's the most consistent way for me. Yeah, I had trouble doing the strat that you did in your PB, where you lure it all the way over to the left. So I decided to just lure it down to the bottom. pretty good strat right here. Just leave. Although fighting that Gamma early would make it a lot easier to do one bomb queen. But likely slower because you have less space to work with. Hi, TAS. I forgot to spider throw off that ledge, and I kind of regret it. I'm pretty sure it saves time. Like, a little. I decided to do it anyway, because it's, like, you never get the chance to see that in Hundo. Or any category. Yeah, you have to mash really fast. These, like, from here to the end, I save a lot more time than I do in the beginning. Yeah, two bombs is a lot more comfortable. Bob skip is fastest when you do the Shine Spark strat. But I don't know if grabbing it earlier would be faster. Well, I wouldn't say. I would say probably not. TAS. I save stated like each of those jumps. Just getting those really well is really annoying. Oh, that's a good point, Ross. Yeah, that climb is pretty cool. Kind of slow because for some reason I did 3 space jumps in between one of the platforms. Worst game in the game. Yeah, which is pretty unfortunate. The old strats are bad. Also, not gonna try for good RNG here. This is definitely good enough for me. Yeah, I don't like it a lot. You get stuck in the ceiling too often. That Gamma went really well. Oh, keep missing splits. It's a little bit faster, but a little bit less consistent than the other strat, the standard strat. So unfortunately, I couldn't find a way to skip the pause on that Omega. I also brain farted here and somehow forgot to just jump over that saw blade thing. Yeah, I somehow got the second Omega pause skip first try, and I was really confused. At which point I mentioned it in the Discord. Yeah, this is a pretty good run so far, John. So here we're gonna see the first pause skip and missile drop from the Omega. Though you may not see the missile drop. So thereby screw attacking into the Omega on the same frame that we kill it, or probably the same frame, it will skip the pause, most importantly, and sometimes drop a missile, which is really weird. Thank you for the host, Dan. And it's because of that that we have just enough missiles for one Bomb Queen. Hey, keep trying, Dan. You'll get there. That's what the devs were thinking, yeah. This one is probably the most viable Omega to do pause skip on, just because it's the most consistent. Sub 50 Omegas. Yikes. I don't know why I did that. I should have also gone for it in the tower. I love that you can do that. It saves like 2 seconds or something. Nope, no escape in this game. Pizza without pineapple. You're totally right. I probably could have gotten more missiles in on that round, but I just wanted to get the morph in sooner. Yeah, the Queen was very cooperative on that attempt. I would assume probably. So that's that. Over 2 minutes faster than the world record. And almost 2 minutes ahead of my sub test. Yeah, sub 55 is technically possible, but not at all likely. It's possible in the same way that that a 110 is possible in SM Hundo. Yeah, that's something that I discovered while making this. Like, I discovered that just yesterday. So what we think is going on is that the game considers the Omega a normal enemy on that one frame, and gives it a missile drop. Yeah, you'd have to do a lot more manipulation than I did. Yeah, that's more or less what I was going for. Reasonable, just very optimized.